Hello everybody, welcome to my Pokemon Clover review. My name is Adar and I will be your host throughout this review. I did do a complete playthrough of this game on my channel with the intent of making a review out of it, so here I am. I will be going over these topics you can see on your screen right now to discuss Pokemon Clover, so let's get right into it. Is Pokemon Clover any good, and should you go ahead and play it? So, introducing Pokemon Clover. Pokemon Clover is a ROM hack of Pokemon Fire Red that started its production in late 2014 and has since evolved into an entire new Pokemon game featuring new characters, a whole new region, a original new story, as well as lots of features up to Generation 6. Pokemon Clover is quite the unique game, considering it was actually based off of memes that have been made on 4chan, having hundreds of references in the story, the NPCs, and its new Pokemon. Yes, you heard me right, there are new Pokemon in this game. 386 completely original new Pokemon have been made specifically for this game, each one having its own cry, backstory, ability, description, the entire thing. This would also be a good time to say that this game is not for everyone for a bunch of different reasons. The first would be its extremely dark humor, making a lot of dark and very unethical jokes throughout the entire game, which could definitely be offensive to a lot of people. Then there is also the fact that this game is hard, and I do not just mean through a bunch of very high levels or whatever. All the Pokemon in this game are really strong. The gym leaders use a lot of strategy, and there is a lot of features, including a level cap holding you back from beating the game too easily. But I will get to more of that later. Those are pretty much the base things you need to know about this game. So let's now do a deep dive and see, is Pokemon Clover any good? Okay, so starting with the difficulty of this game. A difficulty in a Pokemon game is one of the most important parts of determining if a Pokemon game is for you to play. This game is hard, but not the kind of hard you would find in some other mediocre ROM hack Dark Rising, where your Pokemon are at level 60 at the 3rd gym. No, this game is really creative in its difficulty. This game actually operates through a multitude of different factors, one of the most significant being the so-called level cap. The level cap basically makes it so you have to hit certain triggers in the game to have a normal experience curve, and if you try to overlevel, you will simply gain little to no experience anymore while battling wild Pokemon, basically making it impossible to overlevel. This comes with your opponent's Pokemon, especially the gym leaders, being very strong and strategic, swapping out their Pokemon often and using all kinds of items and strategic moves to make beating them as hard as possible for you. Another thing that makes this game hard is that there is a healing class on every single battle, only making you able to use 4 healing items in each battle, and if you are like me and heal spam sometimes to try and stall out your opponent for a strategy, that simply gets shut down in this game. And even though you could argue that that makes the game more strategic, for me it just led to a bunch of annoyance, shutting down a bunch of strategies I have in my head because I simply forgot about the healing class, which led to a lot of blackouts for me. Now, with all of that being said, the game is definitely beatable. I would be lying if I said I got every trainer and gym leader on the first try, but once you think a bit about your opponent's Pokemon and be a bit more strategic about it, everything is definitely doable. So summing up the difficulty, this game is extremely hard and not nuzlockable at all, although to be fair it does say so on a sign very early in the game. If you were looking for a huge challenge, this game will definitely hold up for that. The combination of not knowing the Pokemon because simply everything is new, as well as all the difficult mechanics, makes for a extremely hard challenge. Maybe even on the verge of being a bit too hard in my opinion. So now with the story of this game. A great story can definitely improve the playability of any Pokemon game and is a very important factor of a Pokemon game because of it. So to be honest, I don't think Pokemon Clover has the strongest pure story of any Pokemon game. The bad team in Pokemon Clover is called Team Karma. You do hear their name here and there, and you do fight them here and there as well, but they are not really memorable at all, and there is nothing really significant about them. Like the rest of this game, Pokemon Karma does not take take themselves seriously at all. Their story goes something like that they are trying to find the most powerful meme in the world, and it's harmless, but it does not give a very strong backspine to the story of the game. This is, in my opinion, a bit of a hit on the quality of the game, considering there are so many interesting ways this story could have gone, and having such a goofy, unmemorable, evil team without anything else extremely interesting to back it up can make playing this game feel a bit empty sometimes. That being said though, not all is bad. There are some very interesting things considering the backstory of this game later in the game that really did intrigue me, so that is definitely something that stuck out and gave a bit of a plus sign to me about the story of this game. That is pretty much all about the story though. It is a pretty funny part of the game, I'll give it that, but considering all the things they could have done with this game, I'm not quite sure if they took all the right steps with this one. Getting into the characters of Pokemon Clover, having some interesting and memorable characters in a Pokemon game can definitely boost your experience and make the game more memorable overall. So normally in a game like this I would be going over the most important characters in the game and be going over what they are about and if they are actually interesting, but I can't really do that in this game because there are just not that many interesting characters to talk about. However, that is okay because contrary to the story, literally every single character in this game has something funny or something interesting to say. This is probably the only Pokemon game where I literally want to hear what every single NPC in the game is saying, because literally everything is either funny or interesting or has something cool to do with the game. And I'm talking about every NPC in the game. I'm talking from like the trainers to the random guys sitting in the house for eternity. Literally everyone has something interesting to say, and that is such a good and memorable thing about Pokemon Clover. And that is not saying that the main characters that are there are very bad. You got a couple of professors and a couple of rivals that hit you up every once in a while, and they're all decently funny. Of course, the evil team is not very interesting as discussed before, but honestly, they're all quite decent. So honestly, in a very unique way, the characters in Pokemon Clover are literally all cool, and I have nothing quite bad to say about them. Very interestingly done and very nicely done as well. So getting on with the graphics and music. The graphics and music of a Pokemon game are most of the time not a determining factor, but they can still greatly increase or decrease the playability of the game if done right or wrong. I am actually quite impressed by the graphics of Pokemon Clover. Of course, it is a third generation game, so it's never going to look out of this world, but for what the developers had to work with, I think they did a very nice job with the game. The thing that stands out, of course, is that there are 386 completely original Fakemon in Pokemon Clover, and I just have to give huge props for that because there are simply so many good ones. Of course, there are also a very large amount of offensive designs and names given, but to be honest, you can't take anything away from the beautiful art and beautiful work that the creator of this game has done with these Fakemon. Further on, you can see the care for the looks of this game literally everywhere. Everything looks polished and gives a certain vibe to the game, and honestly the design has really captivated me throughout the game and the region, and I got to give huge props for that. Now that was the looks of this game. Let's get into the music. My goodness, the music in this game is simply incredible. The creators of this game have made their own completely custom array of music, as well as putting a bunch of already existing songs, and everything simply sounds amazing. You have a new theme for every single round and battle, and even though I have completed Pokemon Clover myself, I'm quite sure I haven't even listened to a good 40% of the music in this game, so much is there. As said before, everything sounds amazing, and every song really boosts the experience of where you are in the game at the current moment. I could honestly see myself going back one time and listening to every single song in the game, because honestly the music is that good. So a definite pause for the graphics and music of this game. It might honestly be its very strongest point in the entire game, and it really did improve my experience with the game overall, and it made me like it even more than I already did. So how polished is Pokemon Clover? With polish in a Pokemon romhack, I basically look at how many glitches there were, how the flow of the game felt, and how smooth the game felt in general. Honestly, Pokemon Clover is probably one of the best polished Pokemon romhacks I have ever seen. I always expected at least a couple of glitches to be in a Pokemon romhack, but honestly I cannot remember a single one in this game. Getting to the flow of the game, I feel like the majority of the game, the flow actually felt very, very nice, but I do have to say that at the end I felt like there were too many very hard battles in a row, which kind of drained my energy, and because of that I feel like the flow of the game in general is just okay. For the first 6 or 7 gyms you will probably actually be very confused by that statement, because the flow is very, very nice in that part of the game, but after that you just get a lot of hard battles with very little calming down. And because the hard battles in this game are like extremely hard, it did get me a bit frustrated at times, and because of that my memories at the end of this game are kind of bitter. So overall I feel like the polish of this game is great. The only knock I can give on it is that the flow is a bit bad with too many hard battles at the end, but that could just be me being bad at Pokemon as well. Concluding Pokemon Clover, what do I think of the game in the end? The game is extremely challenging, the graphics and music are godlike, and the overall creativity of this game is out of this world. The dialogue in the game is always funny, keeping you interested the whole time, and the overall unethical approach to the game works extremely well in my opinion. It's just too bad that the story isn't all that, and the difficulty is sometimes a bit too much because of all the crazy mechanics, but overall this game is absolutely amazing and a definite recommendation from me. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you guys thought it was helpful, please like the video, subscribe if you would like to be notified of the live streams or other things I do next, and yeah, I hope to see all of you guys in my upcoming reviews or videos. Make sure to check out my other reviews as well as maybe the Pokemon Clover playthrough I did on my channel. And then I hope to see all of you guys in my next thing. Bye bye.